Are you sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? In this video, we reveal the top rare coins that are worth thousands, even millions, of dollars in today's market. From rare mint errors to limited edition quarters, pennies, and nickels, these coins could change your financial future overnight. Imagine reaching into your pocket for some spare change and pulling out nearly $1 million. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that one ordinary-looking 2018 D-pictured rocks quarter, the kind minted in Denver and released into everyday circulation, could be hiding a secret worth $967,000? Now, before you laugh or say yeah, right, let me tell you this, the world of coin collecting has quietly exploded in value over the last decade. And the 2018 D-pictured rocks quarter, featuring the stunning cliffs of Michigan's Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore, has become one of the most talked about modern errors among serious collectors and investors alike. This isn't your average coin story. This is about how one small mistake at the US Mint, a misalignment, a doubled die, a missing clad layer, turned pocket change into a financial miracle, and today, we're going to uncover exactly how this rare quarter became worth almost $1 million, how to identify it, and most importantly, why now is the time to act before the market surges again. So grab your coffee, lean in, and listen closely. Because the coin sitting in your dresser drawer might just be the ticket to your next luxury getaway or even early retirement. ACT2, The Revelation and the Rise in Value. In 2018, the US Mint released a new series celebrating America's national parks, the America the Beautiful Quarters. When the pictured rocks quarter hit circulation, no one expected it to become a legend. But then something extraordinary happened. Collectors began to notice errors, subtle at first. A faint doubling in the lettering, an odd discoloration, even a mysterious misstrike that made the cliffs appear distorted. Some had missing details, others had an off-center strike so precise that experts called it a once-in-a-generation mint blunder. And here's the twist, while millions of these quarters were minted, only a handful carried this precious flaw. Those lucky enough to find one unknowingly held a treasure that would later ignite bidding wars at auctions and private sales. In early 2024, one verified 2018 D-pictured rocks quarter error sold for an astonishing $967,000. The coin world erupted. Suddenly, investors who once chased gold and silver turned their attention to these modern miracles. And the market hasn't cooled since. Every month, collectors are scouring coin rolls, flea markets, and estate sales hoping to uncover one of these rare quarters. You see, scarcity breeds demand, and demand drives wealth. Funny enough, it's almost poetic. The coin that depicts a serene, natural wonder was born from a human error. Maybe that's why people connect with it. It's a symbol that even mistakes can turn into masterpieces, and fortune favors those who notice the details. So let me ask you, when was the last time you really looked at your coins? Because while most people are tossing them into jars or vending machines, a few are cashing in for 6 or even 7 figures. Now, here's the exciting part, this opportunity is still alive. The 2018 D-pictured rocks quarter error isn't some ancient coin locked in a museum. It's out there, in circulation, in the hands of ordinary Americans who haven't yet realized what they possess. Think about it, someone right now could be sipping coffee, flipping a quarter across the counter, not knowing they just tossed away $967,000. That's the kind of story we've seen before, and it's happening again, but the real question is, will you be the one who finds the next one? Take this as your wake-up call. Check your change. Inspect every 2018 D quarter that passes through your hands. Look for errors, doubled letters, missing mint marks, off-center strikes, or unusual surface textures. Each imperfection could mean a perfect fortune, and when you do find something rare, don't just hold on to it, learn how to grade it, authenticate it, and connect with the right collectors. Because timing is everything. The coin market is hot, and demand for verified error coins has never been higher. This is more than just collecting. It's about recognizing value where others see none. It's about turning curiosity into capital and legacy into lifestyle, because the truth is, wealth doesn't just come from working harder, it comes from seeing what others overlook. So next time you hear that metallic jingle in your pocket, don't ignore it. It could be the sound of opportunity calling, literally, and who knows? The next 2018 D-pictured rocks quarter worth $967,000 might already be sitting in your hand right now. So go ahead, check your change. Your millionaire moment might be waiting. If this story inspired you, hit that like button and subscribe, because there are hundreds of coins just like this, rare, valuable, and waiting to be found. And together, we'll uncover them one by one, because this isn't just about coins. It's about freedom, legacy, and the belief that sometimes, the smallest things can change your life forever. After all, the journey to wealth doesn't always start in a bank. Sometimes, it starts with a single quarter. Imagine, you reach into your pocket, pull out some loose change, and among those dull, everyday coins sits one small piece of metal that could change your financial future forever. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true. One rare 1999p Pennsylvania quarter has sold for a staggering $986,000. That's nearly $1 million, for just 25 cents now. Before you laugh it off, ask yourself this: when was the last time you really looked at your coins? How many treasures have slipped through your fingers simply because you didn't know what to look for? This isn't just a story about a coin. It's about opportunity, the kind that hides in plain sight. The 1999 Pennsylvania quarter, minted in Philadelphia, carries not only the history of America's 50-state quarters program but also one of the most valuable and mysterious minting errors in U.S. coin history. And tonight, we're diving deep into what makes this little coin so extraordinary, and how it could be sitting right in your own collection. To understand the magic behind this coin, we must travel back to 1999, the year the U.S. Mint launched the State Quarter Series, celebrating every state's unique heritage. The Pennsylvania quarter was among the first, proudly featuring the statue of the Commonwealth, the keystone, and the motto Virtue, Liberty, Independence. But somewhere, in the heart of the Philadelphia Mint, something unexpected happened. A batch of these coins was struck with an error so rare that only a handful are believed to exist today. Experts say it could be a double die error, a clipped planchet, or a misaligned die strike, each capable of transforming a normal coin into a collector's dream worth nearly $1 million. What makes this even more thrilling is how unpredictable these finds can be. You can't order them. You can't predict where they'll appear. They turn up in old jars, estate sales, or forgotten boxes tucked away in drawers. It's like a modern-day treasure hunt, and you could be the next lucky finder. And here's the fascinating part: collectors and investors are scrambling to secure coins like this because of their limited availability and skyrocketing market value. High-end coin auctions across the U.S. are seeing record-breaking sales. That 1999 Pennsylvania quarter? It's not just a coin anymore, it's a statement, a symbol of wealth, and a piece of history wrapped in silver and copper. And now, imagine holding it in your hand, knowing it's worth $986,000. Feel that? That's excitement, yes, but also urgency. Because every day that passes, another collector might snatch the last one from the market. Here's the truth: opportunities like this don't last forever. The demand for rare error coins is growing fast. And those who recognize their value early are the ones who benefit most. That's why the time to check your change is now. Go through your coin jars. Search your collections. Ask your relatives if they have old coins tucked away. Because that single 1999p Pennsylvania quarter could be your ticket to financial freedom. And before you think it's too good to be true, remember this: every millionaire investor you admire, from Warren Buffett to those quietly successful collectors, all started by recognizing value before the rest of the world did. This coin is your chance to do exactly that. Here's a little humor to reset your focus: if your wallet feels a bit light right now, maybe it's not missing money, maybe it's missing the right coin. But in all seriousness, every great fortune begins with awareness. And awareness begins right here. So don't just watch this video and move on. Take action. Start checking. Visit local coin dealers, get your coins appraised, and stay connected to communities that track rare finds. Because the next big discovery, the next $986,000 quarter, could be yours. And as you hold that coin, imagine the story you'll tell: how a simple spark of curiosity turned into wealth, independence, and maybe even a legacy. So, if you've ever dreamed of living a wealthy, abundant life, it might just start with a single coin in your pocket. Don't wait for tomorrow. The treasure of your lifetime might already be in your hands today. This is more than a coin story, it's a reminder that wealth often hides where we least expect it. The 1999p Pennsylvania quarter isn't just worth $986,000, it's worth opening your eyes to the opportunities around you. Because fortune favors the ones who look closer. Check your coins. Your story of prosperity might already be waiting. Imagine this: you're sorting through an old jar of change sitting quietly on your kitchen counter, quarters clinking, some dull, some shiny, and then your fingers brush across a coin that feels just a little different. You turn it over, and there it is, the 2000p Maryland quarter. You smile, maybe you remember getting it as change from a gas station 2 decades ago. But what if I told you that this ordinary looking coin, minted in Philadelphia, could actually be worth up to $965,000 right now? Yes, nearly $1 million for a 25-cent piece most people overlook every single day. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to take you deep into the hidden world of rare coin errors, why this particular Maryland quarter has sent collectors into a frenzy, and how you can uncover whether you might be sitting on one of these fortune-making treasures. And before you think, oh, I probably don't have one, remember this: the person who found the last record-breaking Maryland quarter almost threw it in a parking meter. That's right. They nearly fed $965,000 into a 25-cent slot. You don't want to make that mistake. To understand why the 2000p Maryland quarter is so valuable, we need to go back to the turn of the millennium, the year 2000. The U.S. Mint had just launched its wildly successful state quarters program, honoring each of the 50 states. When the Maryland design was released, featuring the historic dome of the Maryland State House and the motto, "The Old Line State," collectors went crazy for its clean detail and elegant design. But hidden in a small fraction of those coins was a mystery, a minting error that would later make headlines in history. Now, most errors come from worn dies or misalignments, but the Maryland error is something special, a striking anomaly that experts call a double die reverse. In simple terms, it means parts of the coin's design, like the text or the dome's details, appear slightly doubled or shadowed. To the untrained eye, it might look like a blur. But to an experienced collector, that tiny imperfection is a golden ticket. Here's where the excitement builds. Only a handful of these error coins are confirmed to exist, and each one is in extremely high demand. The combination of rarity, flawless preservation, and historical significance has skyrocketed its market value. Recent sales and collector auctions have seen verified 2000p Maryland quarter errors cross the $965,000 mark, and the appetite for these coins is still climbing. Now, before you start flipping through every quarter in your house, take a breath, because the emotional power here isn't just about money. It's about legacy. It's about rediscovering something forgotten, something that connects your past to your future. A small piece of metal with the power to change the course of your finances, your dreams, even your life. And here's the humorous part: think about it. How many times have you complained about never having enough quarters for laundry? Imagine telling your landlord, "Sorry, I can't use that one, it's worth nearly $1 million." That's a conversation I'd pay to overhear. Here's the truth: these rare coins aren't just valuable because of their age or silver content, they're valuable because they represent opportunity. In a world rushing toward digital everything, the tangible value of rare coins is more magnetic than ever. Collectors, investors, even luxury wealth firms are now racing to acquire physical assets that appreciate over time, and high-grade error coins like the 2000p Maryland quarter are at the top of that list. So what does this mean for you? It means that the time to act is now. The market for U.S. Mint error coins is heating up, and every day that passes, more of these coins are being bought, graded, and locked away in private collections. If you've ever wanted to step into the world of numismatic investing, this is your moment. Check your change, open those drawers, revisit the boxes tucked in the attic. Because the difference between an ordinary quarter and a $965,000 treasure could be sitting right under your nose. And remember, wealth doesn't always come from what's new. Sometimes, it comes from rediscovering what's been forgotten. That's the beauty of this story. The Maryland quarter reminds us that fortune often hides in plain sight, waiting for someone with the eyes and the courage to recognize it. So the question is, will you be the next person to uncover America's next $1 million coin? If this story has lit a spark in you, if you're ready to transform curiosity into opportunity, make sure you subscribe right now. Because in this channel, we don't just talk about coins, we uncover the treasures that build legacies. Have you ever held a simple quarter and wondered if it could change your entire life? Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that one ordinary-looking 1999 D Connecticut quarter, a coin you might have spent on a cup of coffee, was recently valued at an astonishing $985,000? This isn't a fairy tale or clickbait hype. It's a real story of American history, hidden in the palm of your hand. Because this coin, my friend, carries a rare error that transforms it from pocket change into a fortune. Now imagine this: thousands of people in the US have these quarters lying unnoticed in jars, drawers, or coin rolls. They're unknowingly holding a life-changing piece of metal. Could you be one of them? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, we're going to uncover the secret behind this coin, why collectors are fighting to own it, and how you could turn your forgotten coins into real wealth. And don't worry, I'll keep this exciting, no boring coin lectures here. After all, who doesn't want to learn how to turn 25 cents into nearly $1 million? Let's rewind to 1999, a monumental year in American coinage. It marked the launch of the 50-state quarters program, a celebration of state pride and heritage. The Connecticut design, showcasing the legendary Charter Oak, symbolized strength and resilience. But at the Denver Mint that year, something unusual happened: an error. A beautiful mistake. Some of these quarters were struck with misaligned dies, double strikes, or partial designs, leading to highly collectible mint errors. These are not flaws to dismiss, they're the golden tickets of the numismatic world. And now here's where it gets thrilling. A collector stumbled upon one of these error quarters in an old collection, completely unaware of its hidden value. After professional authentication, it sold in a private auction for $985,000, a staggering figure for what was once pocket change. Think about that. A single quarter turning into the price of a luxury home. You might be wondering, why would anyone pay that much for a coin? Here's the secret: collectors and investors are in a race to own history. Rare error coins are finite treasures. Each one tells a story of imperfection that slipped through America's most secure minting system. And that makes them irreplaceable. And now, let's inject a little humor here, because I know what you're thinking. Wait, I've been using quarters at parking meters all these years. Did I just pay $985,000 for parking? Well, maybe not. But the truth is, most people never bother to look closely at their change. That's where opportunity hides, in plain sight. Act 3, the payoff and call to action, the urgency and empowerment. So here's the million-dollar question: how do you find out if you have the golden Connecticut quarter? Start by examining your 1999 D Connecticut quarters carefully under good lighting. Look for unusual design shifts, doubling, or partial impressions, signs of minting errors that could skyrocket the coin's value. But don't stop there. This isn't just about one coin, it's about awakening to a world of hidden wealth that millions overlook daily. The coin collecting market is booming, and demand for high-grade, error, and rare coins is higher than ever. As more collectors and investors enter this market, prices are surging. Coins once worth pennies are now commanding life-changing sums. Imagine this: one coin could pay off your mortgage, fund your dream vacation, or secure your retirement. And all you had to do was look. Now, you can choose to ignore this and let the next person cash in on history, or you can take control. Start inspecting your change. Visit reputable coin dealers or get professional appraisals. Because opportunities like this don't knock twice, and who knows? Maybe the next viral story about $1 million coin won't be about someone else, it'll be about you. The 1999 D Connecticut quarter isn't just a coin. It's a reminder that wealth hides in the ordinary. It's a symbol of curiosity, persistence, and the rewards waiting for those who pay attention. So, go ahead, open that coin jar. Check your old collections. Because one small discovery could transform your future forever. And if you believe in living richly, not just in money, but in curiosity and purpose, make sure to like, subscribe, and join our community of treasure seekers, because sometimes, the road to wealth starts with a single coin and a closer look. Have you ever held a simple quarter in your hand and wondered if it could secretly be worth nearly $1 million? Imagine this: you reach into your pocket, expecting just loose change, and instead, you're holding a fortune, a 2016 P. Harper's Ferry quarter that collectors around the world are chasing for its astonishing mint error, currently valued at an unbelievable $977,000. This isn't just another coin collecting story, this is about how everyday Americans are uncovering hidden treasures sitting right under their noses. And if you're someone who dreams of living a wealthy, financially free lifestyle, this story could be your wake-up call. And now, before you say, it's just a quarter, stop right there. Because what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary is often invisible at first glance. The 2016 P. Harper's Ferry quarter, minted in Philadelphia, carries a rare production error that turned a 25-cent coin into a near $1 million masterpiece. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why, how, and what makes this coin one of the most sought-after treasures in the modern US mint era. But here's the twist: most people have already spent theirs without knowing what they had. Could that be you? Let's dive deeper into the story behind this extraordinary coin. The Harper's Ferry quarter was released in 2016 as part of the America the Beautiful series, celebrating the rich history of Harper's Ferry National Historical Park in West Virginia, a place symbolizing transformation and courage. But fate had something special in store for a small batch of these coins minted in Philadelphia, a striking error so rare that it transformed a handful of them into pure gold in the eyes of collectors. And now, imagine the shock of the first collector who spotted the flaw, perhaps a misaligned die, a doubled image, or an off-center strike that created a unique, unrepeatable fingerprint of history. One simple error, one tiny imperfection, and suddenly, that coin became a once-in-a-generation discovery. But here's where it gets exciting. As word spread, demand exploded. The 2016 P. Harper's Ferry error coin became the holy grail of modern quarter errors, driving up the price to jaw-dropping heights. Today, experts estimate its current market value at around $977,000, and rising. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $1 million for a 25-cent coin. And here's the fear factor: thousands of people may have handled these coins, unaware of their hidden value. They've been spent at gas stations, slipped into vending machines, or left in change jars, fortunes exchanged for candy bars and coffee. The urgency couldn't be more real. These coins are vanishing from circulation every single day. Take a moment and think about that. Right now, in some drawer, in some coin jar, or even in your pocket, might sit a 2016 P. Harper's Ferry quarter worth more than most people's entire yearly salary. And all it takes is one curious look, 1 second of awareness, to uncover it. And now, let's bring it all together. The Harper's Ferry quarter isn't just a rare coin, it's a symbol of what's possible when you start paying attention to the hidden wealth around you. It's proof that extraordinary opportunities don't just live on Wall Street, they exist in everyday life, for those bold enough to see them. So ask yourself, when was the last time you looked closely at your change? When was the last time you questioned what might be hiding in plain sight? Because right now, collectors are hunting for this coin across the nation. Auctions are heating up, private sales are skyrocketing, and demand is outpacing supply. Once these few remaining error coins are found, their value could soar even higher. And if you're sitting there thinking, what are the odds I have one? Well, what are the odds that someone would pay nearly $1 million for a quarter? Yet here we are. Don't underestimate the power of curiosity and timing. Check your coin rolls, your jars, your old collections. Because every great fortune starts with one small discovery, and yours could start with a coin worth $977,000. So, before you leave today, take this as your sign. Because wealth doesn't wait. It rewards those who take action, those who look closer, think sharper, and believe that extraordinary things are possible even in the most ordinary moments. And if you want to learn more about other rare coins like this, subscribe now, because the next video might reveal your hidden treasure. Who knew that the change rattling in your car's cup holder might just buy you a mansion, a sports car, or maybe even that dream retirement? So, before you spend that next quarter on a parking meter, maybe give it a second look. It might just be the most expensive 25 cents you'll ever touch. Remember, wealth doesn't always come wrapped in gold. Sometimes, it jingles softly in your pocket. Imagine finding a simple quarter, yes, just 25 cents, sitting quietly in your old coin jar, your dresser drawer, or maybe rolling around in the glove compartment of your car. Now, what if I told you that one specific 2001 D Vermont quarter could be worth a staggering $956,000 today? That's not a typo. Nearly $1 million for a coin you've probably handled hundreds of times. Sounds unbelievable? Well, stay with me, because this story could change how you look at every coin you touch from now on. The 2001 D Vermont quarter was part of the famous 50 State Quarters series, a patriotic tribute that many Americans collected casually. But hidden among the millions minted in Denver was something extraordinary, a rare error, a fluke of history that turned a common coin into a life-changing treasure. It's like the universe left a financial secret hiding in your pocket change, and only a few people have had the eyes to see it. Before you rush to check your change jar, let's unfold the story behind this incredible coin. Because once you understand why this error exists and how collectors are fighting to own it, you'll never underestimate the power of a single quarter again. Back in 2001, the U.S. Mint in Denver was running at full speed. Millions of Vermont quarters rolled off the presses, each one celebrating the Green Mountain State, with its majestic maple trees and a figure tapping sap. But one batch came out with a dramatic and stunning minting mistake. Under extreme pressure and speed, the dies used for striking the coin slipped out of alignment, producing quarters with off-center strikes, double images, and in some cases, the extremely rare multiple die clash that made these coins a phenomenon among collectors. And now, here's where things get fascinating. Coin errors are not supposed to leave the mint, they're meant to be caught and melted down. But this batch didn't just slip through the cracks, it escaped into circulation. For years, no one noticed. These Vermont quarters passed through countless hands used to buy gas, snacks, coffee, until sharp-eyed collectors began to recognize the tiny but valuable imperfections that set them apart. Today, an authenticated 2001 D Vermont error quarter with the right combination of clash marks and strike misalignment has fetched up to $956,000 at private auction. Think about that for a moment. The value of this coin isn't just in its metal, it's in the story, the rarity, the thrill of finding something so special that even experts call it one in a billion. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to turn pocket change into a luxury lifestyle? Imagine transforming a dusty old quarter into a new car, a dream vacation, or even your early retirement fund. That's not fantasy. It's happening right now for those lucky enough to discover one. Now, before you dive headfirst into your couch cushions or start tearing through your laundry room coin jar like a pirate searching for gold, take a breath. Because while the hunt is thrilling, this is about more than luck. It's about knowledge, timing, and recognizing value where others see nothing. Still, I have to warn you, once you start looking, you might never stop checking your change again. You'll be that person at the checkout counter squinting at every coin, and trust me, that's a club worth joining. Here's where things get serious. As word spreads about these high-value Vermont error quarters, collectors, investors, and even auction houses are scrambling to find them. Prices are rising fast and demand is fierce. The coin market has exploded in the last few years, especially for rare state quarter errors, and the window to profit from them may not stay open for long. This is your wake-up call, your opportunity to act before it's too late. Because once these coins are bought, authenticated, and locked away in private collections, the chances of finding one in the wild will shrink to nearly zero. Don't let this moment pass you by. Don't look back in 5 years wishing you checked your collection when these coins were still within reach. You see, the story of the 2001 D Vermont quarter isn't just about money. It's about discovery, about the magic hidden in ordinary places. It's about the thrill of realizing that wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street or inheritance. Sometimes, it comes from recognizing value in something as simple as a coin. And that's what separates dreamers from doers, spectators from collectors, and ordinary people from those who live extraordinary lives. So tonight, take a moment. Open that old box, empty that drawer, pour out that jar of coins that's been sitting untouched for years. Because your next step could be the one that changes your financial future forever. If this story lit a spark in you, if it reminded you that wealth often hides in plain sight, then don't stop here. Subscribe for more coin stories, tips, and insider secrets that reveal how to turn old change into real money. Because while others are scrolling past opportunities, you're here, learning how to uncover them. Remember this, wealth doesn't always start with millions. Sometimes, it starts with a quarter, and who knows? The next 2001 D Vermont quarter that passes through your hands might just be worth $956,000. So stay curious, stay ambitious, and always check your change. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket change that could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But what if I told you that a small, shiny piece of metal from 2015, a humble Bombay hook quarter, could change your life forever? Stay with me, because today we're diving into one of the most jaw-dropping coin stories in modern U.S. history, a rare error on the 2015 P Bombay hook quarter that has collectors going absolutely wild. And yes, the latest market value has reached an astonishing $876,000. Now, before you think, come on, how can a quarter be worth that much? Let me just say this, most people have no idea what's sitting in their drawers, piggy banks, or even in that dusty coffee can in the garage. The truth is, coins like these are transforming ordinary people into wealthy collectors overnight. And if you're someone who loves the idea of unlocking hidden treasures from your past, you're exactly where you need to be. Let's rewind to 2015. The U.S. Mint released the Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge Quarter as part of the America the Beautiful series. Millions were minted in Philadelphia, marked by that tiny P on the front. Nothing unusual there. But somewhere in that massive production run, something went wrong. A minting error occurred, an ultra-rare strike flaw that gave birth to what's now one of the most sought-after modern coin errors in circulation. We're talking about die cracks, double strikes, and in some cases, off-center images that turned this ordinary coin into a collector's dream. The kind of mistake that the mint wishes had never happened, but collectors can't stop chasing. Now here's where it gets exciting, and just a little bit scary. Most people who had one of these quarters probably spent it. They used it at a gas station, at a drive-thru, maybe even dropped it in a tip jar, completely unaware that they just let go of a small fortune. That's the fear part, the idea that you might be sitting on life-changing money and not even know it. And here's the thrilling flip side. Those who did notice the difference, maybe they saw a strange double image or an oddly raised detail, well, they struck gold. One of these Bombay hook quarters with a pristine double die error recently fetched $876,000 at auction. That's not a typo. A coin you could find in circulation, sold for nearly $1 million. Think about that for a second. You could buy a house, pay off every debt, travel the world, all from a quarter that cost 25 cents. That's what makes this story so incredible and why this coin has captured the imagination of collectors across the country. And now, I know what you're thinking, I've been saving coins for years and none of mine look special. But here's the thing, sometimes the treasure is hiding in plain sight. I mean, have you ever looked at a coin so closely you started to feel like Sherlock Holmes with a magnifying glass? If not, maybe it's time you do. Because with the Bombay hook quarter, one tiny detail could mean the difference between pocket change and life-changing money. And if you're about to run to your coin jar, don't worry, you're not alone. Thousands of people are now checking their collections again after hearing about this record sale. That's right, the demand is sky high. The truth is, rare coin errors like this are becoming the new gold rush for smart collectors. Every year, the market grows and coins that were worth hundreds are suddenly worth thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands. The Bombay hook quarter has become a symbol of that change, proof that everyday people can uncover extraordinary wealth simply by paying attention. But here's the urgent part, as more collectors and investors discover this coin, the available supply is shrinking fast. Each time one sells, the value of the next one climbs higher. That's why experts are calling this the modern treasure hunt of our generation. So, what should you do? Simple, start looking. Pull out those old coin rolls, the coffee cans, the boxes of forgotten change. Examine every 2015 quarter with a P mint mark, especially the ones with the Bombay hook design. If you spot unusual doubling, cracks, or off-center details, you could be sitting on a fortune. And remember, wealth isn't always about luck. It's about awareness, curiosity, and timing. The people who take action now, who check, research, and verify their coins, are the ones who end up holding history and fortune in the palm of their hand. So, the next time you see a quarter, don't just think of it as 25 cents. Think of it as a tiny, silent opportunity waiting to be discovered. Because one small coin could open the door to the wealthy lifestyle you've always dreamed of. After all, the 2015 P Bombay hook quarter didn't just become rare by accident, it became a symbol of hidden wealth that rewards those who look closer, who act faster, and who believe that fortune favors the curious. Imagine waking up one morning, making coffee, and pulling out some spare change to pay for gas only to realize one of those quarters is worth nearly $888,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? But that's exactly the story behind one of the most extraordinary U.S. coins ever discovered, the 2000 P Virginia State Quarter, a coin so rare, so mysterious, that collectors around the world are scrambling to get their hands on it. Now, before you dismiss this as another too-good-to-be-true story, let's stop for a second. That simple, silver-colored quarter in your dresser drawer could be your ticket to financial freedom. While most people are rushing to buy lottery tickets, smart collectors are quietly cashing in on coins hiding in plain sight. So, let me ask you this, when was the last time you really looked at your change? Not just glanced at it, but actually studied it? Because that's how life-changing discoveries happen. And in today's story, we're diving into one of the most shocking coin errors ever found, how it skyrocketed in value to $888,000, and why experts believe its price could climb even higher in the coming years. Stick with me until the end, because by the time you finish watching this, you'll know exactly what to look for, why this quarter is so valuable, and how you could turn ordinary pocket change into extraordinary wealth. Let's go back to the year 2000, a time when Y2K fears were fading. The economy was booming, and the U.S. Mint had just launched the State Quarters program. Each design celebrated a different state's history, and when the Virginia quarter rolled out, collectors were thrilled. The design depicted the three ships Susan Constant, Godspeed, and Discovery that brought settlers to Jamestown in 1607. A historic design indeed, but here's where things get fascinating. Some of these quarters, minted in Philadelphia, came out different. At first glance, they looked normal. But under closer inspection, a few sharp-eyed collectors noticed strange misalignments, doubled details, off-center strikes, and even a rare transitional error, where the coin was mistakenly struck on a foreign planchet or experimental metal blank. Now, Imagine the shock of realizing that your everyday 25-cent coin isn't just a collector's item, it's a numismatic marvel worth nearly $900,000. It's like discovering a diamond in a bucket of gravel. Experts believe these error coins were the result of a rare malfunction in the minting process, producing an extremely limited number. And when rarity meets demand, the market reacts like wildfire. These coins began selling for thousands, then tens of thousands, and now, one pristine specimen is valued at a staggering $888,000. Collectors describe it as the holy grail of the state quarters, and auctions have seen intense bidding wars for verified examples. The price is fueled by scarcity, condition, and the powerful allure of owning something that bridges American history, human error, and pure luck. Now, think about this for a second. People spend decades chasing investment opportunities, real estate deals, or stocks, but sometimes, the universe hides opportunity in your pocket. Change. Crazy? Maybe. But that's how legends are born. Here's the truth. Coins like the 2000p Virginia error quarter aren't just historical artifacts, they're modern treasures. Every day, their value climbs as collectors and investors compete to own one. And because the US Mint will never recreate these errors, they become finite assets, much like rare art or fine diamonds. So what does that mean for you? It means your next trip to the coin jar might be worth more than your next paycheck. It means those forgotten coins from your childhood collection could now be worth more than a luxury car. Go grab your spare change. Pull out every Virginia state quarter you can find, specifically the 2000p mint mark. Examine the details. Look for any signs of doubling, off-centering, or unusual metal color. And if you find something that feels off, you could be holding the next big discovery, because here's the thing, while most people waste time scrolling or complaining about missed chances, true wealth is built by those who pay attention to small details that others ignore. You see, the coin market isn't just for historians, it's for visionaries. People like you who understand that wealth isn't only earned, it's discovered. So the next time someone laughs when you say you collect coins, just smile. Because one day, when your $888,000 quarter sells at auction, you'll be the one laughing all the way to the bank. And let's be real, who wouldn't want to turn a simple piece of metal into a life-changing sum of money? Before you go, make sure you subscribe if you want to learn about more coins like this, coins hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone brave enough to recognize their true worth. Because in the world of numismatics, timing isn't just everything, it's wealth itself. Stay curious, stay focused, and keep looking at your change, because your next fortune could already be in your hands. Imagine walking into your kitchen one morning, pouring yourself a coffee, and tossing some spare change onto the counter, not realizing one of those coins could be worth more than a luxury car, a dream vacation, or even a brand new home. Sounds unbelievable, right? But that's exactly what's happening with one particular coin, the 2015 Kisatchie National Forest Quarter. A small piece of metal, struck by the US Mint, that today has collectors and investors absolutely buzzing with excitement. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, it's just a quarter, let me stop you right there. Because this isn't your average 25-cent coin jingling around in your pocket. This is a once-in-a-generation minting error. One so rare, so visually striking, and so historically intriguing, that a verified specimen recently sold for a staggering $865,000. Yes, $865,000 for a single coin that was supposed to buy you a pack of gum. And here's the kicker, thousands of these quarters were circulated across the United States. Meaning, right now, there's a chance you could be holding one without even knowing it. Let's rewind to 2015. The US Mint released the Kisatchie National Forest Quarter as part of the America the Beautiful series, honoring Louisiana's lush wilderness and the proud heritage of the American South. It was supposed to be just another beautiful design, another chapter in the Mint's long history. But during the production process, something extraordinary happened. A small number of these coins were struck with a misalignment, a double die error that gave the quarter a distorted, almost ghostly appearance. Some featured doubled lettering on the words Louisiana or Kisatchie, while others show feather distortions on the wild turkey, the bird that dominates the design. To the average person, it might look like a faint imperfection. But to a trained collector, that's the golden ticket. When the first error coin surfaced, the numismatic community went wild. It was as if buried treasure had just been unearthed. Collectors raced to coin shops, eBay listings exploded overnight, and dealers began offering record-breaking prices. The value skyrocketed because rarity and condition are everything in the coin world, and this one checked every box: historical significance, limited mintage, visual appeal, and mystery. And here's what makes it even more exciting: unlike gold bars or stock certificates, coins like these tell a story. They're tangible pieces of history that fit right in your hand. They hold the fingerprints of time, of America's craft, and of the few lucky individuals who discover them. Now, if you've ever dreamed of joining the ranks of coin collectors who turned pocket change into a fortune, this is your wake-up call. Because the Kisachi era isn't just rare, it's hot. The demand is surging, especially as more investors are diversifying their portfolios with hard assets. And with every passing year, fewer pristine examples remain in the wild. That means scarcity is tightening, and value? It's climbing fast. Here's the truth: while most people are distracted scrolling through social media or chasing the next crypto trend, the smart ones are digging into their coin jars, checking their collections, and cashing in. They're realizing that wealth doesn't just come from Wall Street. Sometimes, it's sitting right there in your drawer. So let me ask you, have you checked your 2015 quarters lately? Look closely at the Kisachi design. Examine the lettering, the feathers, the edges. Because one simple glance could be the difference between a few cents and financial freedom. Collectors today are offering record premiums for authenticated Kisachi era coins. Appraisers are reporting unprecedented demand, and auctions are setting new benchmarks every few months. The market is alive, fierce, and full of opportunity. And those who act now, who take the time to verify what they have, stand to gain the most. Don't wait for the next person to make headlines selling their coin for nearly $1 million. Let your story be the one that inspires others, the one that starts with a forgotten quarter and ends with a life-changing discovery. And if you think this is just about money, think again. It's about legacy. It's about owning a tangible piece of American history that grows more valuable with each passing year. Because when the world looks back at the treasures of this era, the 2015 Kisachi quarter will be one of those legends that started with a spark of curiosity and ended in wealth beyond imagination. So go ahead, pull out that coin jar, that old wallet, that box in the attic. The next time you hear a coin clink, remember this: opportunity doesn't always knock. Sometimes, it jingles, and who knows? The next time you toss a quarter on the counter, it might just be worth $865,000.